Hi, good morning, fine people of the world. It's Tuesday, May 27th, and June is fast approaching. This week, my top 3 goals is to walk at least 5,000 steps a day. Number 1. Number 2, to finally sit my husband down and go over a June budget. And number 3, to eat more protein and less carb. So it was a long weekend, and we had a great celebration party for Grace for receiving the rite of celebration with full communion at church. You can remember, I think, from last week's ramble that it was a shit show, aggravating, frustrating time since March and the director that was there, but I have to say, all in all, the priest was great and the ceremony was fantastic, and most importantly, the core group of our friends that attended Mass, as well as the celebration at our house afterward, but they all attended the service, which, sometimes even if you're not Catholic or you don't believe in, whatever, some people wouldn't go to the ceremony for whatever reason, and everyone went that we invited, and they really are. I was looking at a picture, taken afterwards, and they really are like our core group of friends, and it was awesome, and I really appreciate them from the bottom of my heart. And I hope that everyone who's watching, if you stop and think about it for a few seconds, of how many core group of friends you have. I find that the older I get, the less, I don't need to make any more friends. I have, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, certainly if somebody were to cross my path because it was meant to be, and I, became friends with someone, I would welcome it, because I'm a social person and I enjoy my friends. But I can honestly say that as an adult, I have a core group of friends, and it's not many, it's a handful, and their spouses or their partners, and they're just really lovely people. And frankly, I'm sure they would say the same about me. So get yourself some friends. Take a moment to say thank you for your core group of people who really support you. And I just hope that this last week of May, you can help bring clarity to your life. Because I'll tell you, life is just passing us by, isn't it? It's going by so fast. I know, I remember my mom saying that. My mom used to say that all the time, and not my grandmother before that, and I was itching. Gosh, I can't believe everybody's going to say it. This week you're going to hear everybody say in their videos, I can't believe it's June already. But what are we doing differently? My husband and I celebrated our 17th wedding anniversary on Sunday, and as everyone knows who is married, it doesn't come with this. It does come with ups and downs. It's not, everything is not hunky-dory kumbaya. It's just not. It's just marriage. And sometimes you have to work at it, and maybe for me, I'm just trying to be less impatient with him. For me, I'm lucky that I have a male friend that works, I'll call him a co-worker. He's not a co-worker of mine, but he works in another office from us, and he's always coming in, but he talks about not his relationship personally, but he talks about the struggles that he may have with communicating with his wife about budget, believe it or not. And I talk about the impatientness I have with my husband, and it's just a good balance, because he's like, you're two different people, and you kind of need to respect who you are and who he is. So it was just a great discussion that I had with him the other day, and it kind of traveled into the weekend, and I'm just trying to be a little less impatient and let things go. The outside is his domain, and he needs to figure that out. I can't figure out the inside, Gracie's schedule, my schedule, his schedule, everybody's schedule, plus the outside. So that's what I mean. Like, you just need to, right, find that niche of what works in marriage and try to just kind of continue with it. But I hope, I hope to sit down this week and talk about some budgeting for June and really get a grasp on what's happening. I do feel like we're behind on a couple of business bills, and once you're behind on something, it's really tough to get caught up. So we need to kind of put our heads together and just move on. My big no-no for June is going to be no spending. Especially me personally, I've done really well about not going to Dunkin' Donuts. I used to go once a week, and now I don't. Just my sausage, egg, and cheese wrap, nothing crazy. But my big thing for June is really going to be no planning spending, which I haven't done in a while. I mean, the only exception is I did, and it'll come out June 1st, is I upgraded my my Jane's Agenda bot, so that'll be 80 instead of 40. So that's it. And one last thing is, I went to bed at 10 and I woke up at 11:40, and with sharp this tooth right here that's going in for a root canal next week is still bothering me. I've been on 2 doses of antibiotics. So I need to call the dentist today and see what he wants to do. One last thing in my morning rambling is I'm going to work early. I'm going to work for 6. So 6 to about 11:15, 11:20. And then I'm meeting my husband, and we're going to the high school where I graduated from to speak to the special ed teacher there about Grace attending there probably like afternoons, 12 to maybe 2, in a hybrid program for the fall. And I'm really excited because Grace is a very social child. She loves other people. She's not medically challenged, as I want to say some may think, but she's in a medically challenged class right now, and she's been in that class since she was 4, right, with early intervention, and I think she's outgrown it. And the teacher's great, and these are the only friends that she knows, etc. But she knows a lot of people. She knows a lot of her typical peers, and she's social. And I think she would maybe thrive a little bit if she was more in that environment. So that's what we want for her. We want her to thrive. I mean, even typical parents, I imagine that all you want is your child to thrive. And that's what we want for Grace. So we're excited to go meet with this teacher for an hour, and then we're going to observe her unified class. And people, I'll report back, but I hope that I love it. I think any class that I see with typical peers in it and mentors with special ed kids, I think I would love it anyway, because Grace doesn't get that at her school right now, or very little of it, and I want that for her. Okay, signing off. Hope you had a nice Memorial Day weekend, and I hope that you just take a day and just be thankful